Hello, EMIS. Hey, the other day I heard from a couple of you and it just kind of brought back a lot of memories. And, I kind of want to share them with you. So first there was Amy Smith. Back in the day, had a stepson named RP. RP wasn't the best behaved individual in the world, so I was kind of careful who I put him with. And I put him with Amy. Everything just worked out fine. It was so funny. And finally I asked RP, I said, seems like things are going pretty good in class. She says, yeah, Mrs. Smith, she's scary. And I was laughing. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, most teachers, they talk way from above. Miss Smith looks at you right in the eye. It was kind of funny. And then I was thinking about Becky Snyder. Ran into her the other day. One time I was actually having a little motorcycle in the back of one of the schools, and she said, hey, can I ride? I said, sure. So she got on it, in about 3 seconds flipped that thing over right on top of her. It was not pretty. And Vicky Romeo, I remember there was something, it was about a snake. I don't know what that meant. Donnie Carson, I remember one of the principals asked me, would you have a talk with Donnie? Some of the teachers are saying that he's just going around talking to kids. I just had to laugh. That's what Donnie was supposed to do. And Kim Haight, man, it was good having her right next door. I missed that a lot. She would just come over, hey, can we chew the fat a little bit? Or more often than not, I'd go over to her office and say, let me tell you what just happened. It was just good having somebody that close. I remember playing basketball with Kara Curley. She was almost pretty good, I have to admit. One day, one of the custodians said, Mr. Hartman, have you been in the art room lately? We're just kind of cleaning up in there. I said, no. He says, maybe you ought to come see. So they took me in there, and they were cleaning up, and man, there wasn't anything I could do except shake my head. I said, well, Miss Corbett's, she's cute. And so we kind of got through that. One time I was playing basketball with the Henrys. I'll never forget this. And Christy Henry she's actually a pretty good ball player if we can get her to play. But she was playing with her daughter. Daughter was on the other team, and daughter got so frustrated that she couldn't get the ball away from Christy. She just hauled off and bit her right in the middle of the game. It was funny. One day I was in Matt Jonas's class. Now, I was actually doing an observation, and there's all kind of things you can see, and all of a sudden he started talking about something called lattice multiplication. And I looked at him and was like, what was that? I don't know, you'd have to see it. You ought to get him to show it to you. It's a little different. But one day I was in Sarah Dillard's room, and she chose for an observation Romeo and Juliet. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this is not going to be good. And I'll be doggone if she didn't put some life into Romeo and Juliet I never knew there was. It was darn interesting. One day Tammy Rigby called me down. She had a little trailer out back. I don't know if some of you might remember that. And she said, Mr. Hartman, there's just a little problem with one of the walls, got a dent in it. So I come down there, and sure enough, there's a dent. And I said, Tammy, it looks like that's the imprint of someone's, butt. And she says, yeah, somebody slipped. I said, Tammy, it's 5 feet up in the air. And she says, yeah, it was a big slip. Things like that happen, Mr. Hartman. That was memorable. Michelle Izzo, first day on the job, way back when, honest to gosh, she broke her finger playing football with the kids. First day. It was interesting. Mike Henry, I remember one of the principals asked me would you have a talk with Mike? Every time I see him, he's always talking about cows. I said, Mrs. So-and-so, I won't mention any names. I said, he is, you haven't noticed this, he's a man. It's just an idea. And then Nan, holy cow, this was actually another school, but something I'll never forget about Nan. What a blessing she is to many people. We're out in the back trailer at another school, and she had a class of 7 boys. Now, you wouldn't think 7 boys would be all that hard. Oh my, she was awesome. The boys, not so awesome. Amazing. Another time I was sitting in my office and Jeff Williams, I like that man. He came in the office as, Mr. Hartman, we got a call that there are ants on the playground. I said, okay. He says, aren't ants supposed to be outside? That man had a sense of humor. And Robin Milton, this probably dates me a little bit, but her first day on the job, honest to gosh, Tom and Robin and I were all sitting together, just sat down to eat lunch and we'll get a call. There's a problem in the 3rd grade hall. Well, I stood up because that's what I would do. She says, oh, I got it. So off she runs. And Tom and I said, nope. Okay, so we just started eating. And about, 2 or 3 minutes later, we get a call. Mr. Hartman, where is the 3rd grade hall exactly? And you know, through it all, one of my favorite memories is Crystal and Karen and Cheryl. You know, I don't know how they did it, but through all the craziness, they were just there for all of us. What a great team. Folks, I love you. I was thinking about you this Christmas. I wish you and your family a Merry, Merry Christmas. Thanks.